रक्तगन्धानुविद्धाङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः भक्तानुकम्बिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां परः। नमो प्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रणतपतये नमस्ते स्वयंबोधर एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुधाय वरदमूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
With your eyes closed, that was Ganesha Upasana. Ganesha envelops the whole world, is the whole world, and then transcends the world also. Ganesha is Rudrastam, Agnistam, Vayustam, Vishnustam. Ganesha represents all these gods. The Ganesha Upasakas, they say the whole world as Ganesha's body. At the same time, Ganesha transcends the world. Similarly, Devi Upasakas, they see the whole world as Devi's body, and Devi transcends the world. Or Purusha Upasakas, Purusha Sukta, the whole world is seen as Mahavishnu, and Vishnu transcend. Or Gayatri Upasakas, Bhurbhava Svaha Tasya Vidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Gayatri Devata envelops the whole world and then goes beyond. So there are many upasanas prescribed in the scriptures. Depending upon your mental makeup, your inclinations, your interest, you can choose one of these upasanas. Upasaka does all her work, activities and offering to the Upasya Devata. So through that she gains mental equanimity and focus. The mind turns inward. So mind is a kind of mediator. It can experience the dualistic world in the light of the non-dual Brahman. Like Shiva has three eyes. The Atman, the mind, which reflects the light of the Atman, can be extroverted as well as introverted. So our goal is to be the Atman and then interact with the world. Be the Atman means be a happy person. It all can be reduced to happily interact with the world. So when we happily interact with the world, every encounter with the world becomes an opportunity to explore and express your potential. Whether you are at home or on the road or in the office or in the golf club, wherever you are, every encounter with the world become an opportunity to express your natural self. So we have seen these 5 koshas, 5 envelopes or koshas, 5 rings around the Atman, the eye. Atman is indicated by the experience eye. You can call it kosha or mask or envelope or rings or chakras. The first kosha is Annamaya, the food sheath. Second kosha ring is Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, and the center of these circles, concentric circles, is the Atma. You, I. So the meditator withdraws identification with the body, prana, mind, emotions, intellect, decisions, and ignorance and knowledge, disidentifies with all this, with the understanding they are only the koshas, they are only outside envelopes. So the kosha meditation, you slowly observe and detach from these koshas. Annamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, and finally Anandam. We also have seen the 3 states, Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, and Atman is surrounded by these Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti experiences. And in another context, we have seen the gross, subtle, and the causal bodies. Atman is enveloped by these bodies. And Atman is invisible, indescribable. So Atman cannot be known as an object, but you can only be that. So spirituality means to live as the Atman and then relate with these various koshas. So body is your outer boundary. Still inner is the breath, prana. Still inner is the mind, emotions, etc. Still inner is the buddhi, the intellect. And still inner is the anandamaya, ignorance. And beyond ignorance is the Atman. And all these koshas put together, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, all these koshas put together, you can say Mithya or Maya. But this Maya is the power of Atman, the innate power of Atman. By which the Atman manifests as the world. And in the process, Atman forgets, and our effort is to regain that memory. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gojaram Tamagojaram Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranadosmyaham Jandunam Narajanmadullabhamadap Pumstum Tato Viprata Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Bharata Vidvudvamasmat Param Atmanatma Vivejanam Sunubhavo Brahmatmana Samstitihi Muktirno Shatakoti Janma Sughride Punnirvina Labhyade Durlabham Trayame Vaidad Devanugraha Hedugam Manusyatvam Mumuchutvam Mahapurusha Samsrayaha Ko Nama Bantha Kadhamesha Agadaha Katham Pradishtasya Katham Vimokshaha Ko Savanatma Paramakatma Tayor Viveka Kathametaduchyata Brahmanandara Sanubodhi Galidei Pudei Suchidei Ryudei Yushmadvakkala Shuchidei Shrudimukei Vakyamradei Sejaya Sandaptam Bhavata Bhadavadakhanajjwalabhirenam Prabho Dhanyaste Bhavadikshanakshanagade Patri Grita Svigrita. So these mantras you must commit to memory. These 4 or 5 mantras. I said take home from this class at least. So what are we doing here in this kind of a study or reflection? And what are we doing? One thing is we are taking a break from our busy life. We are so busy with doing several things, get confused. So we all need some break. So that's what you are doing here. Whether you understand, whether you don't understand, some of things you may not understand, some of things you may understand, some of things you may misunderstand. That also possible. Understanding, misunderstanding, some of things you may imagine. Doesn't matter. What is important is you are relaxed. You are not seeking anything material outside. You are seeking something deep within. So it's an inward journey, we have said. So it doesn't matter whether you understand. In Vedanta class there is no examination. There is no examination. Because whether you fail or whether you win, the test doesn't matter. What matters is that you know that I am a failure, that I am a success. That knowledge is more. That knowledge is what we are seeking. That awareness, that consciousness, where success and failure is only a thought. It is not the fact. It is only a cultural construct. So success and failure doesn't matter. So you can relax, you say. You can relax. As we have seen, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. Even if you fail, failure becomes a stepping stone to success. Success also can get into your head, and then it can fatten your ego. So success and failure is not important. What is important is that you are awareful about things, about the world and about your mental thought processes. Awareness is more important. So now we talked about the three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. And we also talked about the three states of consciousness, Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti. Now we are talking about the five koshas. So there is a definition of Atma in Tattva. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira, Vyatiriktaha, Panchakosha, Adidaha, Avastatraya, Sakshi, Sanna, Satchidananda, Sarupaha, Yastishtadi, Sa Atma. That is the definition of Atma. It's a very elaborate, exhaustive definition. So Vivekachoodamani is expanding that idea. What is Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira? What is Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti? What is the Panchakoshas? And who is the Swami of all this? This is what Vivekachoodamani is talking about. And you're talking about you and me. It's not an objective exploration, it's a subjective, experiential exploration. Not just a cerebral exploration. So you must feel pickled in this knowledge. You must feel soaked in this knowledge. You must feel like a clump of camphor. When it burns, it disappears. Isn't it? Or a salt, put in water, it dissolves. Similarly, as you listen to these words, you must feel that kind of cold shower. You feel soaked in this wisdom. Without that, it doesn't help much. So it's what we call, is not a informative knowledge, it is a transformative knowledge. Not just information, it is transformation. You are transformed, you are undergoing. So much is happening in you as you listen. A lot of burden is taken off your shoulders. You feel unburdened. You feel so free and fearless. The end of this discussion. So now we are dealing with, so the Vivekachoodamani says you have to remove the outer shell, outer envelopes, and reach the essence. Munjadiva ishigamiva. Munja, let's say a plantain tree. Plantain tree has got several envelopes, several outer layers. And from the outer layers you take the inner pith and make vegetable out of it. Make vegetable or salad or some some essence, take essence out of that, and you nourish yourself. So similarly, one has to take the essence. Essence is the Atma. The rest are all non-essential, cosmetics, you say. Atman is the... So in this machine age, this is very, very important. We all have been reduced into machines. We all can be manipulated. So unless you meditate and find your roots in the Atman, you will become a victim of others' manipulation. You become a Devanam Pashuva, Shankara says. A cow to be milked, to be exploited by others. So you have to retain your deeper identity, which is very, very important. And others may not have access to that. That self, nobody has access. Because it is immeasurable, it is indescribable. So one has to understand what is the essential nature of the self. And so this analysis of the koshas. First kosha is Annamaya. So let's read this. 156. Deho yamannamaya. Deho yamanna bhavanonnamayastu koshaha. Yannena jivati vinashyati tadvihinaha. Tukcharma mamsa rudirasti purisha rashi. Nayam swayam bhavidumarkhadi nitya shuddha. Deho yamanna bhavanonnamayastu koshaha. Yannena jivati vinashyati tadvihinaha. Tukcharma mamsa rudirasti purisha rashi. Nayam swayam bhavidumarkhadi nitya shuddha. So, I am this body, dehaha, annama bhavanaha. It is born of food, we have seen that. The body is born of food, anna bhavana. Annad bhavanti, the anna bhavana. Annamaya, it's a modification of food. Whatever you eaten, the essence of the food. Kosha, that's the outer layer of your personality. You can call it your personality. Person and personality. Personality, persona. Person plus persona is a personality. Persona means a mask. So when you wear a mask, then you become a personality. When you remove the mask, you are only a person. So person and personality. So we all are speaking through the mask. Remove the mask, then there is nothing to speak. You remain in your essential nature. So you project a false personality to the world. You don't reveal your true personhood to the world. Your true personhood is Satchidanandam. Your personality is a distorted Satchidanandam. So this mask that we are wearing. First mask is the body. Body is the mask. So Annamayaha, Annamayastu koshaha, hi annena jivati vinashyati tadvihena, vihinaha. Without food, you become a bag of bones. Nobody can recognize you. Food is necessary. As I told you, some people say, my Guruji has not eaten for so many years, which then he is fat also. How can you be physically fat and not eat for several years, you say? So you must be eating something. At night he is eating, daytime he doesn't eat. At night he is eating. So, according to Vivekachoodamani, physical body cannot exist without food. Vinashyati tadvihinaha. So, charma mamsa rudirasti purisha rashi. This is the description of the body. Tokka, charmam, tokka means inner skin, charma means outer skin, mamsa, flesh, rudhira, blood, asti, bones, purisham. And the content of the body is purisham, pieces, and urine, you say. That's it. Nayam swayam bhavidum arhati nitya shuddha atma. This body cannot be equated with the ever pure consciousness, he says, Atma. So Atman is something separate from this body. But unfortunately, we are identified with the body and forgotten the Atma. And that is the source of our misery. Continuing, Purvam janerabi mrudera dhadnayamasti jadakshana kshana guno niyatas svabhavaha naigo jadashcha ghadatva paridrishyam gadavat paridrishyamanaha swatma kadham bhavati bhava vikara veta. So another, what are the properties of this physical body? Purvam janerabi mruderathanayamasti. Before the birth, it was not there. Before death, it will not be there. Like a pot. Before you make the pot, it was not there. After you break the pot, it is not. So you say it is called prior and posterior non-existent and mutual non-existent. That's the kind. My body is not your body. It is called mutual non-existent. Your body is not the mosquito's body, mutual non-existent. So we have a birth and death in between. As Bhagavad Gita says, Avyaktat Vyaktaya Sarvam. From Avyakta it comes for some time, then it goes back to Avyaktam. We are talking about your body. Don't look around. Your body, it manifests for some time, exists for some time, then it disintegrates. Maybe 90 years it exists, but 90 years is nothing, you say. It is only when you are 90 years old, you realize, my God, time just whisked by, just sped by time. Suddenly you realize, I am 90. Purvam janerabi mruderathanayamasti jadakshana kshanagunaha. He says, every minute it is changing, this body. Jadaha kshana kshanagunaha aniyata svabhavaha. And it is an indeterminate nature. You cannot say what exactly it is. It's constantly changing. It's a flow of atoms, you can say. Niyata svabhavaha. Na ekaha. It's not one, it's made up of many parts. What are the parts? Head, tail, and leg, and thighs, and chest, and all that. Or various organs. It is put together. Bhagavan in a hurriedly put all those things together and plastered it. No nuts and bolts in the body. Everything is just put together in this bag, the bag of the body, and then some or other you are managing, he says. So, na ekaha jataha, it is material, matter. It has no eye sense. Body has no eye sense. Ghadavat paridrishyamanaha, and you objectify the body like a pot. You can see a pot. Similarly, you see your body. So Atma katham bhavati bhava vikara veta. How can you say body is Atma? Because Atman is the one who observes the changes, knower of all these changes, knower of the body. Therefore, you cannot be the body. It takes a lot of discussion because I am the body attitude has been there drilled into you since birth after birth after birth after birth. It is only now with the human life you get to the idea that I may be something other than the body. Otherwise, a cow or an elephant or a mosquito or a crocodile or a fish or a bird, all of them are body-oriented creatures. It is only the human life we start reflecting upon the body. The reflective life starts after the human life. Am I the body or something more than the body? Two buffaloes doesn't sit and discuss Vivekachoodamani or philosophy or spiritual subject. They are just a body, that's it. There's no more, there's no reflection in them. They don't create philosophy, they don't think of gods, they don't think of after life what will happen. After death, where will I go? This kind of philosophical discussions are not there among the animals. Only human beings have this problem. It's a problem actually. Animals has no problem. After eating, they sleep well. We, after eating, all our problems start. Isn't it? All our problems start after having a good meal. Now what to do? Animal has no problem, it sleeps. Then it gets up. Then it chases their prey. And when they get the prey, they sleep again. Our problems start after eating. So, Atma kadam bhavadi bhava vikara veta. Continuing. Pani padadi mandeha natma venge vijivanat tattat shaktera nashacha naniyamyo niyamakaha pani padadi mandeha natma venge vijivanat tattat shaktera nashacha na niyamyo niyamakaha. So padachedam, pani padadiman deha na atma vengebi jivanat tad shaktehe anashacha na niyamyaha niyamakaha. So pani padadiman deha, this we know. Deha means with the legs and hands, leg and hand, and the torso. This is the deha. Pani, padadiman, deha. Na atma, this cannot be the atma, this cannot be the self. Why? Vengebi, even if you lose one leg, or one hand, or one eye, still you say, I am there. You lost a leg, but I am there. Therefore, if leg is you, then when the leg is gone, then you will not be there. Leg gone. There is one guy in Japan, the Americans dropped the bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 or something. And 3 miles where the drop fell, the bomb fell, 3 miles around that, everything became vapor, just simply disappeared. And 30 miles around that, people lost their leg, and then some people lost their head, some people lost their leg, some people lost their skin. All the skin were peeled out. So one guy, he lost both the hands, both the legs, only the torso and the head remained. But he is alive. He is alive. And he has to be laid, and his skin is peeled, all skin peeled out. So he has to be put in a trough with oil. So it's very painful. So rest of his life, he lied in that trough, filled with the oil, that's it. But he didn't give up. That eye is still there. No head, head is there. Without head, it's difficult. So the eye is there. Leg is gone, hand is gone, everything is gone. And still the eye is intact, you see. And this guy, what to do now? He cannot move around, he cannot talk, he cannot work. So he asked for a brush and paint. And a canvas. A canvas was lowered and you could see the canvas. And he used his mouth. With the brush, he painted on the canvases. And masterpieces he produced. So he made himself useful. Atman is so versatile and creative. Doesn't matter your hands or legs, with the mouth you can accomplish things, he said. So that is the spirit of the Atman. You never yield and give up. You still get going, you see. So Panipadadiman Deha Natma. This is not the Atma. Vengebi, even in their absence, even they are amputated, Jivanad, thy still remains intact. He became a better painter than others who have got hands and legs. This man became a better painter. Another reason is, so you can exist, the eye is not, remains intact whether you have limbs or not. Therefore, eye is separate other than the body. Tada shaktehi anasascha. Even if you lose your leg, the faculty remains with you. That's a prosthesis. You put an artificial limb, you can still walk. Or artificial hand, you can still hold. Or even speech. Artificially, Stephen Hawking, he couldn't speak, but he spoke through a machine. So this way, doesn't matter these instruments, these body parts damaged, still its faculty remains in your brain. So you can use an artificial limb and still function. Same functions are possible. So tada shaktehe, tad shaktehe means all these hands and legs, their faculty is in the brain or in the mind. So if you use an artificial limb, again you can function. And I think the world will be slowly coming to that state. You can manufacture better hands. So I envisage a situation, you may even amputate your hand and put another artificial, better, made of a better material. Using nanotechnology, you can produce better material, lasting material, light material. Material will last long. The people may cut off this fleshy hand and put artificial, much better thing. Similarly, leg. Similarly, your heart, better heart can be manufactured and then you can put your hand. Your kidney, your heart, your lungs, even your brain slowly, they can put better information in the brain. And a time will come, all these limbs can be artificially manufactured and refitted. Retrofitting, you can do that. And then you can live maybe another 100 years. Another 100 years. It can go on and on like that. But the Atman remains the same. Atman cannot be changed, you say. The I cannot be changed. Memories can be changed. But you are not the memory. Everything can be changed other than the Atman, you say. So, tattat shaktehi anashacha. Their faculties are all in the mind. And you can use artificial limbs and you can continue to function. So, therefore, na niyamakaha. So, body is not the controller. Body is only the controlled, niyamya. Body is only a machine. It can be controlled. And the controller, niyamakaha, is the Atman, you say, the consciousness. Consciousness cannot be manufactured. That is what we believe now. Maybe, we don't know. Consciousness cannot be manufactured. It is intact. It has no parts. It is not a product. It is ever existing reality. The fundamental reality according to Vedanta is consciousness. So tada shaktehi anashacha na niyamakaha. This body is not the niyamaka, the controller. This is only niyamyaha. It is the controlled. It is used by some other power. So body is only a vehicle as a tool. Vasyadigamiva tachnaha. Just as a carpenter uses his tool, the Atman uses the body. Continuing. Deha tad dharma tad karma tadavastadi sakshinaha sadaeva sudasiddham तद्वैलक्षण्यमात्मनः देह तद्धर्म तत्कर्म तदवस्थादिसाक्षिणः सदैव सदसिद्धं तद्वैलक्षण्यमात्मनः. Again, reflection upon the Deha. You're reflecting, you're looking upon the Deha. Deha, tad dharma, Deha, the body, tad dharma, its functions, tad karma, its activities, dharma means the qualities, its activities, tad avastha, the various stages that the Deha go through, balyadishu avastha, balyadishu, jagradasishu, and vardhakyam, the body goes through these stages. Body has got certain activities and body has got certain properties. So deha taddharma tatkarma tadavastadi sakshi, and Atman is the sakshi, the witness of all things. Atma witnesses all things. So you can say, I was a child, then I was a young man, then I became old. You know all this. I was well, healthy, then I became unhealthy. You know that also. Isn't it? So all these activities of the body is aware by the consciousness. Deha taddharma tatkarma tadavastadi sakshinaha is the sakshi. Deha means only sakshim. I am the sakshi. Sadaeva sudasiddham tad vailakshanyam. And Atman is vailakshan, is separate, different from the Deha. Sadaeva sudasiddham. And Atman is sudasiddham, self-existing. It is not produced. Deha is produced. Deha is a product of evolution. Atma is free from evolution and time. It is ever existing. And that is your true nature. Continuing. Shalya Rashi Mamsaliptaha Malapurno Dikashmalaha Kadham Bhavedayam Vetta Swayamedad Vilakshanaha Shalya Rashi Mamsaliptaha Malapurno Dikashmalaha Kadham Bhavedayam Vetta Swayamedad Vilakshanaha. As I told you earlier, there is a big discussion in the philosophical circles these days. How does an experience happen? Does machine have experience? That's a big question. Does machine experience? When you are driving a car is running, isn't it? Petrol and wheels and car is running. But car doesn't have an experience of running. Doesn't say, I am running. We say, I made 50 miles per hour. Where actually the car made 15 miles. You didn't do that. But you superimpose the property and the function of the car on you and you say, I did 50 miles. So this experience is a puzzle to the modern science. What exactly, who exactly is experiencing? Is it the body? Is it the mind? Who is having this felt experience? That's not being decided yet. Vedanta says, yes, there is something called consciousness which is eternal, which is not produced, which is ever existing, which is in the presence of which experiences happen. So that's Vedantic explanation. So here he says, Shalya Rashi Mamsaliptaha. Shalya Rashi means an assemblage of shalyas, bones. Body is an assembly of bones. Mamsaliptaha, a bones connected with the mamsa, flesh. Malapurnaha, what is the content of this body? Malap. That Shankara repeats again and again. The content of the body means filth. There is nothing else. Malapurnaha, adikashmalaha. Nothing exciting about the body. Ashuddham, Kashmala means Ashuddha. Ashuddha. Body is not that inspiring, you say. Uninspiring entity. Kashmala, Ashuddhi. Dirty. Kadam bhavedayam veda. How can this body be the knower, you say? The body cannot be the experiencer or the knower because it doesn't have that property. Swayam edad vilakshana. Atman is edad vilakshana. It is separate from the, therefore, the knower Atman is separate from the body. That's the Shankaracharya's opinion. I think we also feel that the body cannot know. Body will keep changing, and the changing, all the changes of the body is known by us, the Atman. Continuing. Tummam samedosti purisha rashi. Tummam samedosti purisha rasho. Aham madim mudhajanak karodi. Vilakshanam vetti vicharashilaha. Nijaswarupam paramartha bhodam. Tummam samedosti purisha rasho. Aham madim mudhajanak karodi. Vilakshanam vetti vicharashilaha. Nijaswarupam paramartha bhodam. Again, the body, Tunga, Mamsa, Meda, Asti, Purisha, Rasho. This body which is an assemblage of all these filthy, dirty things. It's only very occasionally we feel comfortable with the body. When you are in a state of high arousal, it may give you certain comfort in the body. When that is over, again you are back to square one, you say. The body is a bag of filth. That's what is being said again and again. So, Tummam samedosti purisha rasho. We have seen all this. Tunga mamsam meda asti purisha rasho. Aham madim mudajanak karodi. It is only stupid people, fools, muda, unintelligent people take themselves to be the body. Intelligent people don't do that. Some intelligent people live in the mind. Some people live in the intellect. Some people live in the transcendental plane. So different people live at different levels. Different chakra, they say. People who live in the lower chakra, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraga, Anahata, Vishuddha, and Ajna, and beyond that. People live at different levels. And they come down to lower level, upper level, different dimension. So most of the people live in the physical level. They adore the physical body, adorn the physical body, fatten the physical body. 60% of the people live on the physical level. They have no clue about the higher levels of existence, physical level. And most of if you go to a mall, most of the things displayed there is to cater the physical body. Shoes, garments, cosmetics, medicines. What do you see in a mall other than this? I don't see any bookshop in the mall. They may be in some corner hidden there. Or some games. Everything is catered to the physical body. That's some Asia mall, this mall, that mall. All the objects. There's nothing else. And the food, of course. Food court is there. Shoes are there, garments are there, cosmetics are there. There's nothing else. Nothing else. So 60% of the people are living in that level, you see. And so Tvang Mamsa Medosti Purisha Rasho Aham Madim Mudhajanak Karodi. Vilakshanam Vetti Vijarashila. Those who are thoughtful people, they take themselves to be vilashanam other than the physical body. Nijaswarupa paramartha bhudam. And their Atman is Nijaswarupam, their real nature. Nijaswarupa. Paramartha bhudam, which is the truth. The body is a false. It's not the truth. The Atman which experiences the body is the truth. So that you require some intelligence and reflection to do that. So we all are, it has been dinned into us by our culture, our tradition, that we are the body is dinned into us. It requires a little more reflection to separate from the body. Continuing. Dehohamityeva jadasya buddhihi dehe cha jive vidushastvaham dhihi viveka vijnana vado mahatmanaha brahmahamityeva madhisadatmanaha dehohamityeva jadasya buddhihi dehe cha jive vidushastvaham dhihi viveka vijnana vado mahatmanaha brahmahamityeva madhisadatmanaha. So here Acharya is dividing people into three categories. One category which is majority, they alone can win an election. Other two categories can never win an election. Because majority are dehoham madhihi. So they alone can win an election. So dehaha ahamityeva jadasya buddhi, you say. Jada buddhi. These unintelligent people, jada buddhi, whose buddhi is dominated by tamas, dehaham idyeva jadasya buddhi. They take themselves to be deha parimanoham. I am only the body, there is nothing more than that. That is one category. Dehe cha jive vidushaha aham dihi. And people who are little more thoughtful, they think their body cannot be the ultimate truth. There may be something more. Jive cha. There is some soul behind the body. There is some ghost within this machine. There is a soul. So dehe cha jive vidushaha ahamdi. Vidusha means knowledgeable people. They understand the body is animated by some spirit. The spirit and body I am. I have a spirit in. I have an Atman in. That's called Jivat. So dehe cha jive vidusha hamdi. And that soul within me is a limited soul. My soul is different from your soul. Your soul is different from your wife's soul. Different from your child's soul. So bahulyam. The jiva bahulyam. There are many souls. That is another way of looking at it. Little more deeper understanding about you. So dehe cha jive vidushaha ahamdi. Viveka vijnana, third variety. Viveka vijnanavataha mahatmanaha. Those great people, brahmahamityeva madhisadatmanaha. So people who are deeply meditating, they understand their Atman is the Atman in all people. It's not only my separate Atman. My Atman is Atman everywhere. And you can go one more step further. That Atman which is my Atman, is the Atman everywhere, is one which manifested as the universe. How is that? So not only my Atman is the universal Atman, it is the universal Atman which has become the universe. Meaning matter is only an expression of the spirit. Bhagavad Gita. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagad abhyakta murtina mastani sarva bhudani najaham deshavasthidaha najamastani bhudani pashyame yoga maisharam bhuda bridda naja bhudastha mamatma bhuda bhavanaha. I have become the whole universe. Vishtabhyahamidam sarvam. So there are 2-3 steps First step is, there is an Atman within me, beyond the body, beyond the mind, which is called the soul. And that Atman is the same in everyone. Brahmadi Stambha Varjandam, same Atman. Even a mosquito has the same Atman as I have. So there is only one undivided Atman. And that Atman has become the Prakriti, he says. Manifest as the Prakriti. So we are going one step beyond the Sankhya. Vedantin are going one step beyond the Sankhya. It is not only there is a Purusha in me, that Purusha is the same in all. It is that Purusha which appears as the material world. This is why Advaita Drishti. That's called the Advaita Drishti. Other Dvaita Drishti. Dvaidam and Advaita. We are supposedly Advaita. Some of you may be Dvaita, but we are supposed to be Advaita. Dvaita means the same soul in all, and the same soul becomes the matter. Matter is not a different, separate entity. When you have that vision, then you are a Advaitin, he says. So, Dehohamityeva jadasya buddhi. Some people believe only in the body. Some people believe in Atman behind the body, but separate Atman. Some people believe that Atman is, all the Atmans are the same, like a pot and the pot space. Different pots. Big pot, small pot, dirty pot, clean pot. But in all these pots, the same space. Same space. And in that space, time space, with a little depression become the world, you see. The world is nothing but a depression or a disturbance in time space continues. So ultimately, there is only space. There is only time space. So these are the idea. Let's read it once again. Dehohamityeva jadasya buddhihi dehe cha jive vidushastvaham dhihi viveka vijnana vado mahatmanaha brahmahamityeva madhisadatmanaha. So Mahatma and Mohatma. Mahatma, those who know the truth, aham brahma idi madihi sadatmanaha. Sadatma means it's always the same self. So that samyak jnana. Continuing. Aptratma. So in India, in Hinduism, we have all these types. There is the Charvakas who believe I am the body, nothing more than that. There is the Dvaitins like Madhva, Ramanuja, those people who believe there is an Atman behind the body, animating the body. And there is Advaitin, Shankara. So Madhva, Ramanuja, Shankara, Vallabha, Nimbarka, and Chaitanya, these philosophers, they interpret Vedanta in different ways. Madhva will say, there is an Atman other than the body, but the Atman is separate from, each one has a separate Atman. When Ramanuja comes, this Atman is, separate Atman is part of the Ishvara, separate Atman. Jada Jadam. Both Jadam and Ajadam are part of Ishvara. And when Shankara comes, Ishvara, Atman, Jagat, all are expression of the same truth, you see. The choice is yours. Choice is yours. You can be a Shankarite or a Madhvaite or Ramanujite or Vallabha, all this. There are 4 or 5 interpretations of the Upanishad. Continuing. Atratma buddhim tejamuda buddhe tummam same dosti purisha rashau sarvatmani brahmani nirvikalpe purusha shantim paramam bhajasva atratma buddhim tejamuda buddhe tummam same dosti purisha rashau Sarvatmani Brahmani Nirvikalpe Purusha Shantim Paramam Bhajasva. So the advice, the loving advice of the Guru is, don't have attachment to the body, he says. Don't think you are the body. So atra means in this body, physical body. Teja muda buddhe, oh fool, muda buddhi, a foolish person. A muda buddhe, foolish person. Teja atra atma buddhim. Please give up identification with the body. Tvangmamsa vedosti purisharasho. It is nothing but skin, bone and hair and then pieces and urine. Therefore, don't hug it, he says. Don't embrace it. Don't identify with it. Tvangmamsa vedosti purisharasho. Sarvatmani Brahmani Nirvikalpe Kurisha Shantim Paramam Bhajasva. And identify with the Brahman, Sarvatmani, a Brahman which is the self of all. Nirvikalpe, which doesn't modify, undergo change. Kurushva, then Shantim Paramam Bhajasva. And attain supreme peace, he said. If you want peace, this is the way to peace. Because the body can be broken into pieces. Atman cannot be. Therefore, find your peace and pitch your tent in the Atman, he says. Don't wander all over. So realize Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Keep saying that. Sarvatmani Brahmani Nirvikalpe Kurishva Atma Buddhi Shantim Paramam Bhajasva. Thus you gain supreme peace. And that's what we want, isn't it? We want that peace which passeth all understanding. I don't find a peace anywhere, unless you abide in the sun. Continuing. Dehendriyado asadi brahmodidam vidvanahanda najahadiyavad tavanna tasyasti vimukti varta tavanna tasyasti vimukti vartabi yastvesha vedanta nayanda darshi Dehendriyado asadi brahmodidam vidvanahanda najahadiyavad tavanna tasyasti vimukti vartabi yastvesha vedanta nayanda darshi. Padachedam Deha indriyado asadi brahmodidam vidvan ahandam na jahadiyavad tavad na tasyasti vimukti vartabi yahatu esha vedanta nayanda darshi. So you may be a great scholar in Vedanta. That idea is brought in again. You may be a great scholar in Vedanta. You can give great lectures in Vedanta. You can expound Vedanta text. But the crux of the matter is you should withdraw identification from the body and fix it in the Atman. You should move your attention from the body to the Atman. So Dehendriyado asadi, the Deha Indriya is asad, which is not permanent, which appears and disappears. In such a body, Dehendriyado asadi brahmodidam, due to your delusion, self-ignorance, and the power of the rajas, brahmodidam, delusional. Ahandam, that ahanda, the identification with the body. Vidvan na jahadiyavad, as long as you don't give up that identification with the body, tavad, so far, na tatsyasti vimukti vartabi. There is no question of liberation for that person. Not even a varta. There is no good news for him. There is no good news. Because you are deeply attached to the body and spending all your time fattening, worshipping the body. Body is your God now. Body seems to be everything for him. And as long as that kind of attitude lasts, na vimukti varta, there is no peace of mind, there is no health, there is no happiness, nothing. Vimukti varta vi. Yahatu esha, and this guy, Vedanta Nayanda Darshi Abhi, even if you are a Vedanta Nayanda Darshi, great orator or scholar of Vedanta, and whereas an illiterate person, he has not studied Vedanta, he only heard once from the Guru, Tattvamasi Aham Brahmasmi, and immediately it catches on him, and that's enough. For some people, one word is enough. Some people, the whole scripture doesn't make any difference. So what is important is, where is your eye? Where have you fixed your eye? Is it on the body or the Atman? Are you following the scripture or are you following your own bodily appetites? So which is very important? It's not scholarship. It is the actual experience of this what matters. So I don't care whether you can expound the Upanishad. What I am concerned with is, are you established in the Atman, the Brahman? Continuing. Chaya sharire pradibimba gatre yasvapna dehe hridi kalpidange yadhatma buddhi tavanasti kachid jivat sharire chatadheva mastu chaya sharire pradibimba gatre yasvapna dehe hridi kalpidange yadhatma buddhi tavanasti kachid jivat sharire chatadheva mastu. So you may have all the titles in the world, Mahanda or this man, that man, Swami, Yogi or all that. But as long as your identity is not in the Atman, the Brahman, then all other knowledge titles doesn't help you, says. Doesn't help. When you are alone, you are still twiddling your thumb. In the crowd you are a Maharaja. Because crowd are always want some excitement. In the crowd you are a Maharaja, but when you are alone, what is your state, you say? Are you established? Are you still? Are you at peace with yourself? Or are you trying to run away from yourself? The running away all this. Too much crowd, too many people. So Bhagavad Gita says, Egante, yeah, Egante, Sukhamasyata. Egante, Sukhamasyata. Egante, Sukhamasyata means, when you are alone, how do you feel about yourself? That is the test, acid test. In the crowd you are dancing like a peacock. That's a different game. But when you are alone, when nobody is around you, when you confront yourself, how do you feel? How do you feel about yourself? That is the central question. That's the central question. And if you don't feel comfortable, then the rest are all useless. The rest are all running away. Excitement. I mean, it can give you a lot of excitement that is very tiring and wearing. You feel tired at the end of the day. You feel tired. Even the politicians we have seen. Politicians. When the crowd comes, they are excited. When the crowd comes, they are excited. But in the plane, they hop from city to city in a helicopter, let's say. In the helicopter, they are this take, that take, and then wondering, they are confused about themselves when the crowd comes. But when alone, they are full of doubt and questions and all the guilt. So how do you, Egante Sukamasyata, can you be comfortable with yourself when you are alone? when you are contemplating upon the final exit, are you quiet and calm? This is the test of your spiritual realization. The rest are not the test. So continuing, he says, Chaya sharire pradibimba gatre yes swapna dehe hridi kalpidange yad atma buddhi tava nasti. Chaya sharira means your shadow. In the morning you cast a long shadow across the road, isn't it? When you wait for a bus, then you stand there and the sun comes and casts a long shadow. And in that shadow it crosses the road also. Then a huge truck comes and runs over the shadow. Will you sit down and say, I am finished? You don't say that. It's only my shadow. I have no identification with my shadow. Is it not? So, Chaya Sharire, Pradibimba Gatre, or your reflection. You look into the water and you see your reflection. And the water is a little disturbed, your bimba also, Pradibimba also disturbed. Do you feel I am finished? I am disturbed. You don't do that. So, Chaya Sharire, Pradibimba Gatre, Swapna Dehe. In the dream, you became a beggar. The king dreams to become a beggar. And the beggar dreams that he has become a king. People have eaten very well, then they go to sleep, they think they have been fasting. Those who are fasting, when they go to sleep and dream, they have been feasting. This is that. But whatever you happen, you are a beggar in the dream. But do you give reality to that? When you wake up, you are no more a beggar, isn't it? You don't give any reality to it. So, Swapna Dehe, Hridi Kalpidange, and also you imagine yourself. I have become Amitabh Bachchan or Narendra Modi, isn't it? Or Aishwarya Roy. You dream like that. You sit and dream. Even the Vedanta class you are dreaming. But do you give any reality to that? You don't. Unless you are a fool. Of course, when you have mental problem, then you give reality to all that. Otherwise, no. Children, when they see the shadow on the wall, they cry. They cry. So you don't give any reality to this. This is only an entertainment for you. So, Chaya Sharire Pradibimba Gatre yes Swapna Dehe Hridi Kalpidange Yatha Atma Buddhi Tava Nasti. You don't have any identification with that. Kajit. No way can you have any identification. Jiva Sharir. Similarly, this body is a dream, you say. It's a dream product. It just appears and disappears. In deep sleep, it is not there. In dream, it is not there. It is only in the waking world. 8 hours every day, you live in that, identify with the body. Therefore, why are you giving so much importance to the body? The idea is that reduce your physical needs. That's the idea. Fundamentally, the idea is that reduce your physical needs. Do good exercise. Take care of your health, physical health. Don't indulge in the body. That's the idea. Practically, all this discussion, because this has to be shoved down your throat, otherwise you don't understand this. You have been so much attached to the body. So the idea is that reduce your physical needs, eat less. Eat less. Be good for you. Exercise, good for you. And do whatever is necessary for the maintenance of the body, not more than that. Don't indulge in the body. That's all what is meant here. That's all what is meant. And the body will not last. It will go through these changes and grow gracefully old, as they say. Child become baby become a child become a teen, teen, and then adult, and then old, etc. It goes. Then hair go grey and teeth are falling, and you are not able to hear. These are all part of the game. Part of the game. Even if you repair them, that also will not last. So therefore, have a very objective, rational, practical approach to the body. That's all what is meant. So, yathatma buddhistava nastikajit, let's read it once again. Chaya sharire pradibimbakatre yastvatma dehe hridi kalpidange yaswapna dehe hridi kalpidange yathatma buddhistava nastikajit Jiva sharire chatadheva mastu. The Jiva sharira means this sharira which is alive now, seems to be alive. That also you should not have any extreme, irrational, obsessive attachment, you say. Sometimes we do. Cigarette. You have extreme obsessive attachment, some people, not all the people. Or internet platforms, YouTube and all, extreme attachment. So don't have any extreme attachment to anything outside, including your children. Be objective, practical, rational. Continuing, Dehatma dhireva nranam asadhyam Janmadi dukkha prabhavasya bijam Yatastadastvam jahitam prayatnad Tekte tu chitte na punarbhavasha Dehatma dhireva nranam asadhyam Janmadi dukkha prabhavasya bijam Yatastadastvam jahitam prayatnad Tekte tu chitte na punarbhavasha. Padachedam Dehatmadhi. We are trying to blast that identification. Dehatmadhi. I am the body idea. We are trying to disabuse you from that idea. That I am body. Dehatmadhi revanranam. Asadhyam. Asadhi means one was attached to the asad, which is false things, attached to false things, asad. Asadhyam dehatmadi. Those people are extremely attached to the body. Janmadi dukkha prabhavasya bijam. As a result, you have the suffering, dukkha, pain. I become old, I am sick, I am old, I am dying. I am lonely, I am alone. All these kind of, whatever happened to the body is superimposed upon you. So, dehatma dhireva nranama sadhyam janmadi dukkha prabhavasya hedu. As a result, you say, I am born, I am dying, I am growing, I am old, etc. Prabhavasya bijam. Yataha tataha tvam jahitam prayatnad. This identification you have to give up yourself. Because this gives you a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. Even when the body is healthy, there is pain. There is pain. Because fear, something wrong may happen to me. Something happened to the body. All the time you are worried. Fear of height, fear of flying. All your fear is based upon the body. So, janmadi dukkha prabhavasya bijam. This is the source of all your fear. Therefore, detach and then use the body. Use the body as a tool. Train the body, use the body as a tool to interact with the world. And such people, all great people are like that, like Mahatma Gandhi, let's say, or Nelson Mandela, or Bhagavan Krishna, all these Rama. They don't propitiate the body. They use the body for certain purpose and train the body for that. Train the body. Great warriors, generals, they are not afraid of death. When you are not afraid of death, then you are deathless. So, the body should not dominate your thoughts. So, dehatma dhireva nirnama suddhiya janmadi dukkha prabhavasya bijam yataha tataha, therefore, tvam jehi tam prayatna. Tam means this dehatma buddhi. Prayatna by effort. Tekte tu, when you give up that, chitte na punarbhavasha. Then there is no rebirth. Punarbhava means rebirth. Most of the time we pray, I don't need another birth. Isn't it? Don't you pray that? I don't think you are serious about that. Though may say I don't need another birth. Okay, then you come with me, Yama comes. You don't want to go. You some or other want to cling on to this body, you say. So, birth can mean constant change. For example, when you came to this room, you are born in this room. When you leave this room, you are dead to this room. So this fear of change, fear of new things, fear of uncertainty, that is inhibiting your expression, self-expression. So be fearless. Face the uncertainties. Face challenges. Don't run away from challenges because of the physical discomfort. Physical discomfort should not inhibit your self-expression, you say. If you want to be a karate master, black belt and all that, you have to exercise the physical body. Dehatma dhireva nirnam asaddhyam janmadi dukkha prabhavasya bijam yataha tataha tvam jahitam prayatnad tekte tu chittena punarbhavasha. Then there are punarbhava means rebirth. That also we have to understand. What is rebirth? Rebirth means moving from one context to another context. That is rebirth. Who is moving actually? The one who moves is the body only, not you. You are always there. So you have no change. So abide in that faith, then use the body, you say. Then you can make great achievement. You can make a dent in the universe, as I say. Great achievements are possible when you are fearless, daring, inquisitive, risk-taking. All this possible when you use the body as a tool. Not body uses you. Continuing. Karmendriye panjabiranchidoyam prano bhavet pranamayastu koshaha yenatmavana annamayonna purnaha pravartadesau sagalakriyasu karmendriye panjabiranchidoyam prano bhavet pranamayastu koshaha yenatmavanan mayonu purnaha pravartadesau sagalakriyasu. Padachedam karmendriyaihi panjabihi anchidahayam pranaha bhavet pranamayatu koshaha yena atmavan annamaya anupurna pravartade asau sagalakriyasu. Now we are moving to pranamaya kosha. Annamaya kosha is over. Annamaya kosha is described what it is, what are its functions, what is your relation with Annamaya, what happened to Annamaya, all these are discussed. Now we come to pranamaya kosha, the second layer of your personality. Little inner, little subtle, second layer of it. You know, in extreme cold, you wear 5 layers, isn't it? 5 layers of clothes. When it is hot, only maybe 3 layers. Underwear and a shirt and a coat over that. That's it. When it is extreme cold, an overcoat and a raincoat also. 5 layers. And the person is inside. He may be like a stick, but with all the clothes he looks so huge. So similarly, you can wear 5 clothing, 3, that Pancha Kosha, or 3 bodies, or 3 avasthas, 3 and 5. And when you are in Tibet, you will wear 7 koshas also. That is, the other kosha is the world outside. Outside also become a kosha for you. So here the Pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha is a combination of 5 pranas and 5 organs of action. That is Pranamaya kosha. 5 prana. What are the 5 pranas? Pranabhana, Udana, Samana, and then 5 organs of action, motor organ. Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Vastam. So Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Vastam, plus the 5 pranas together become Pranamaya kosha. Your physiological body, let's say. In modern language, your physiological body. The seat of hunger and thirst. That's the basic biological need, hunger and thirst. So, physical body occupies a space, the chair, you sit on the chair. The physiological body is part of the inner structure, and is the seat of hunger and thirst. So, karmendriyehi panchavihi, the 5-fold organs, motor organs, karmendriyam. What are they? Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Vastam. Panchavihi anchidaha. Anchidaha means vishishtaha, conditioned by or along with the 5 organs of action. Pranaha bhavet. Prana means the 5 prana. Bhavet pranamayastu kosha. Pranamaya kosha. Your physiological personality inside. So when you are hungry, you are in pranamaya kosha. When you are thirsty, you are in pranamaya. When you are digesting, you are pranamaya kosha. The digestion doesn't happen, then you feel it, isn't it? Oh, I am constipated. I am not digesting the poison food. My stomach is making noises. I want to rush to the toilet, isn't it? So this way, you are in pranamaya kosha at that time. So by doing pranayama, you can organize these functions. Pranamaya, good appetite, good motion, healthy digestion. All those things happen. So do pranayama every day, prana upasana every day. And this prana can take you to higher lokas also. So pranamaya kosha. So karmendriyehi panchavihi anchidoyam prano bhavet pranamayastu kosha. So pranaha with the 5 organs of action become the pranamaya kosha. Yena atmavan annamayaha purna. So the annamaya kosha, inspired by the pranamaya kosha, become functional, you say. The body is moving. You lift the hand. It's all because of the pranamaya. Otherwise you cannot move. Weak prana, I cannot lift my leg, I cannot move, I cannot climb. All these movements are possible because of the presence of prana in you. The pranayama become very, very important. Various types of pranayama. So, yena atmavan annamaya. So, annamaya become active, atmavan, because of the presence of the prana. And the prana fills the annamaya also. Like a water filling a bottle. The pranamaya being subtle is filling the annamaya. So together they are able to function. So he says, Yena atmavan annamaya anupurnaha. This pranamaya fills. Imagine a bottle and the water in it. The bottle is the annamaya and the water is the pranamaya. And they also say prana survives on water. You have to drink water. If you don't drink, prana won't function. So those who fast, they can give up food, but they cannot give up water. If you don't drink water for 4 or 5 days, then you are finished. Of course, oxygen also is very, very important. Oxygen, water and food. So, karmendriye panchabiranjidvayam prano bhavet pranamayastu vasha yena atmavan bhavati annamaya. The physical body become active because of the pranamaya. Yena anupurna, and the pranamaya fills the content of the annamaya. Pravartade asau sagala kriyasu, and that the body become active because of the presence of the prana. Prana goes, finish. He breathed his last. That is the last I heard from him, isn't it? He breathed his last, that's the last I heard from that person. Because he cannot speak anymore. He cannot grab anything. He is grabbed. The last thing he grabs is the key, the bunch of keys. That he grabs. But when the prana goes, that also. We gave up everything. Nothing is there. So prana is very important. Yena atmavan annamayaha anupurna pravartade aso sagala kriyasu. So prana becomes very, very important. Now you are a organism now. You have body and you have the prana. You are an organism. Maybe an amoeba or a tree. You can move, you can eat, you can digest, you can excrete, you can divide and create more beings like you. So you are just a breathing, moving entity. Then there is more in you. There is more beyond the pranamaya. So, but there is some description of the pranamaya. Are you the pranamaya is the question. There was a time we all believed that we are the prana. There is nothing more than that. Because in the evolutionary process, the mind has not yet evolved. The buddhi is not yet evolved. There is no way of knowing the Atma. So you are just a amoeba kind of. All the functions are there, living beings' functions are there. But no mind, no thinking, no emotions. An amoeba supposedly has no emotion, has no thinking. So once upon a time we are in that state. So this prana, which is making us move, like a worm which moves across the road, let us say. It doesn't have much thinking or not even emotion, that's what we feel. It's all from our standpoint, isn't it? It doesn't have much emotion. It doesn't make friends. Emotion means you make friends. It doesn't make. Amoeba doesn't make friends. It just divides. It just eats something and survives. So they are all the pranamaya level. Continuing, naivatmayam pranamayo vayu vikaraha ganda vayivadantarbhiresha yasmat kinchit kvabhina vetti ishtamanishtam samvanyam va kinchana nityam paratantraha naivatmayam pranamayo vayu vikaraha gandha gandha vayuvadandarbahireshah yasmat kinjit kvabhina vettishtamanishtam samvanyam va kinchana nityam paratantraha. So once upon a time we believed we are basically the prana. But now, as we evolve in our thinking, we realize we are not just the prana. There is something more. Something more. There are several other layers in our personality. So here the Rishi says, Na eva atmayam pranamaya. This pranamaya is not the atma. It's not your essential self. Vayu vikaraha, it's a modified air. Vayu vikara. So this vayu which breathe in, divided into 5 functions. Ingestion, digestion, etc. 5 functions. It's a modified air. Gandha, gandha, it comes and goes. It comes in, it goes out, isn't it? Inhaling, exhaling. And divide into 5 functions. So, gandha, akandha, vayu the andarbahishta, it goes inside and outside. Yasmat kinjit kvabhina veti, but this prana does not know anything. It's a mechanical action. The diaphragm expands and there is more space. So, by gravity, the air goes in. And then the air goes up, diaphragm contracts, it goes up. It's a very mechanical function. The prana does not know. You know, I am not breathing properly, I have difficulty in breathing. I am not getting enough oxygen. Isn't it? That you know, not the prana. Prana itself does not. Once upon a time we thought prana is everything. There is something more, he says. So, gandha, gandha, yasmad kinjit kvabhi, nothing and no time, nothing, it knows anything. Kinjit kvabhi, na veti ishtam anishtam. Good and bad it does not know. This prana does not know itself. It's not self-aware. Anyam, it does not know other object. Prana is just there. It's a mechanical power, force. It doesn't have any awareness. Swam va anyam va kinjid nityam paratantraha, he says. Kinjid anityam paratantraha. Prana is anityam, it is keep on changing. And paratantraha. Paratantraha means it is serving somebody's purpose. It is not serving its own purpose. Prana doesn't have self-satisfaction. Prana is only a mechanical function, not a spiritual entity. That does not mean prana is unimportant. Prana is very important, like let's say oil or petrol is necessary for the car. But car with the petrol doesn't run. It doesn't run. You have to sit at the back, isn't it? You have to sit at the back. But what about self-driven car? That also somebody has to manipulate it from somewhere. Otherwise it won't go. Somebody should design it and monitor it from somewhere. So prana, though it is necessary, is not sufficient. So you are not the prana, you say. When prana goes, you don't go. Prana goes, you don't go. You're still there. Prana can come back also. You can get into another body also. So, sumva anyam va kinjid anityam paratantraha. It is constantly changing. It comes, it goes, it modifies. It does few functions, but it does not know it is doing those functions, you say. Therefore you are not the prana. Continuing. Jnanendriyani cha manascha manomaya syat कोशो ममाहमिति वस्तु विकल्पहेतुः संज्ञादिभेदकलना कलितो बलीयान् तत्पूर्वकोशमनुपूर्य विजृम्भतेय ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि च मनश्च मनोमय स्यात् कोशो ममाहमिति वस्तु विकल्पहेतुः संज्ञादिभेदकलना कलितो बलीयान् तत्पूर्वकोशमनुपूर्य विजृम्भतेयः. Now comes to the Manomaya kosha. Manomaya kosha is a very deep layer of your personality. Basically, it is a state of emotion. Manomaya means a state of emotion. And most of our life's experience are conditioned by emotion. Emotion determines who you are. Emotion gives a certain quality of life. So that Manomaya kosha is being discussed here. Bhagavan spends a lot of time on Manomaya kosha, because from Manomaya onwards we start observing things, creating things, narratives, stories, words, names, forms. And most of us live in that level. We are emotional creatures. We vote emotionally. We argue emotionally. And emotionally we receive information. Certain information we reject. When you hear the story of Krishna or Rama or our country, you are all on the emotional level. Isn't it? When you hear about India, your blood should boil, isn't it? Or your hair should stand on their end, and you should feel pride and proud and all that. All emotion, Vallathol. When you hear about India, one emotion. When you go to Kerala, your blood should boil and overflows, isn't it? So these kind of emotional appeal. Most of the time we behave on the emotional appeal. All advertisement is emotion. We try to manipulate our children emotionally. Children manipulate emotion. Our leaders manipulate emotion. A logical argument, nobody will listen. Nobody listens. Nobody understands. Everybody wants to hear emotional speeches. So we are basically stuck with our emotion. Emotional life. In a drama, in a movie, cinema, all emotional appeal. You should keep coming all the time. It becomes an addiction. Things become an addiction. Certain serial addiction, isn't it? My God, if you don't see it, you don't get sleep that day. So most of us are living on the mind level, emotional level. And our mental problems also are emotional problems. Hysteria, bipolar behavior, depression. Their intellect has no role. We just feel depressed. We just feel hysteric. We just feel committing suicide. There is no emotion there. Some of you feel like that, I must end my life. Especially young people. Old people have no energy to commit suicide also anyway. We don't want to commit suicide. All these mental issues, which have become epidemic proportions now. Earlier we didn't have so much mental issues. Now the mental issues, more than physical, it's mental. Mental issues affects even healthy people, famous people. Most of us are living on the mental level. So one has to understand. That is why in Tattiriya Upanishad it is said, Yajurevasya shiraha rigdakshina patshaha samottara patshaha adesha atma atharvangirasa pucham pratishtha tasya yajureva shiraha yajur dakshina pakshaha samottara pakshaha adesha atma atharvangirasa pucham pratishtha. So the child has to go through all the samskara kriyas. That the emotional body has to be disciplined. How do you discipline the emotional body? The emotional body develops in the childhood, from the womb onwards. Mother's mental state. The mother is depressed, it affects the child. Mother is hallucinating, affects the child. Mother smokes, affects the child. Mother takes drugs, affects the child. If the husband abuses the mother, wife, then it affects the child. Because the brain is coming into shape now. So it starts from their emotional body. And then as a child you have been abused, you have been abandoned and traumas and all that. Up to the age of 12, mind is taking shape up to the age of 12. Afterwards, after 12, when the hormones start kicking in, then you start questioning, critical thinking, questioning, isn't it? After 12, the child will ask questions. Why should I do that? My teacher says something. My friend says something. They start asking a question. Child, after 12. Because the hormones start kicking in, a new life arises in him. Start questioning. So, till 12, child is blindly being organized. The society, the family, the parents help the child to develop this mental personality. So we have the samskara kriya, jadeshti and then pumsavanam and namakarnam, chudakarnam and all kind of samskara kriya. Because we are trying to organize his emotional life. So study the Yajurveda, Rigveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda, and then follow the adesham, the instructions of the Guru and the parents and elders. You have to follow those instructions because we are trying to develop your emotional personality. If that doesn't happen, then children go haywire. There is no discipline at all. The father is busy, mother is busy, child is abandoned at home, and child is sitting and looking through the window, when is mother coming? Mother comes, but can she give quality time for the child? No, because she is busy with the office problem. Or her fight with her husband. Or the dog and the cat comes there to spend time for that also. Child gets no time at all. Your emotions are all perverted and distorted. Your emotions. So mental body is very, very important. We spend a lot of time on this. So let us read once again. Jnanendriyani cha manascha mano. And most of the time, even adults are influenced by this mental body. You may be a very intellectual person, but they like a double ducker. The double ducker, one duck go to the east and the other duck go to the west. Intellectually you are a superpower. Emotionally you are a baby. And all your intellectual activity, deep down influenced by the baby in you. The crying, demanding, unattended baby. You are a 60-year-old man on top of the world, on top of the heap. You are a CEO or a Prime Minister or whatever. But the child in you, demanding attention, craving for attention. And very difficult to satisfy that child. Because even if you give something to the child, the adult in you discount that. He doesn't appreciate it. So there is a conflict between the traumatized child and the successful adult in you. So we are living two decks, two stories. So we have to give a lot of attention to the Manomaya question. So let us read this once again. Jnanendriyani cha manascha manomaya syat. Kosho mama ahamidi vastu vikalpa heduhu. Samjnadi bheda kalana kalido baliyan. Tatpurva kosha manupurya vijrumpadeyaha. Jnanendriyani cha manascha manomaya syat. Kosho mama ahamidi vastu vikalpa heduhu. Samjnadi bheda kalana kalido baliyan. Tatpurva kosha manupurya vijrumpadeyaha. There is a famous story of Napoleon. Napoleon was a great conqueror. He conquered the whole of Europe, almost conquered Russia. But there he was stopped. Then he lost the war in Waterloo, and then he was banished into the island of Elba. So that's Napoleon. But there was an unsatisfied child in him. So he was a slave of his wife, because he sees wife as his mother. Sometimes we love a person as a to satisfy some other desires. So I didn't get love for my mother, so I love this person, or a lady, or a boy, whatever it is. That lost love I am seeking for that. Napoleon was like that. So Napoleon, when he comes home in front of his wife, he behaves like a child. He loved her. It's a mix of mother and wife. Both are mixed up there. Sometimes she looks like a mother. Sometimes she is treated as a wife. Janani and Ramani, let us say. Ramani means this. Janani means mother. Both are mixed. It's a very difficult situation. Very difficult situation. The Napoleon will sit and then press her feet, and she will abuse him. And he is a great conqueror. Nobody could imagine that. So the conflict between the dissatisfied child, the motherless child, mother was there, but she had no time to attend on it, and his need for emotional relation, erotic relation. The erotic as well as the motherly relation get mixed up. The poor man was utterly confused. But he was a great strategist in the warfield. So, one side the strategic mind, other side the emotional mind. There's permanent conflict, you see. President Clinton was something like that. He had a very unhappy childhood. His father died before he was born. Father was a drunkard. And on drunken state, she fell down and fell into a ditch, and he died there. And his mother married another man. He also was a drunkard. So he used to beat. So he used to beat Clinton's mother also. That kind of a child. So he was always seeking attention, an unsatisfied child, an ignored and neglected child. But his intellect developed like anything. So he joined Harvard or Yale and got his degree and married this powerful woman, and he was looking for somebody to protect him. So Hillary Clinton was a very dominating, powerful woman. And he was not satisfied because he saw his mother in her. So he has to go somewhere else. Isn't it? Somewhere else. For erotic satisfaction. Very messy life. Very messy life. But he was on top. He was the president of the United States, 2-time president. Not an ordinary person. But inside there is an unhappy, convoluted child in you. And the twain shall never meet. So don't assess people for the external accomplishment. Their inner world is utter confusion. Inner world. Outside. And they compensate. For the inner dissatisfaction, they compensate for outer achievements. So all of us are a kind of conflicted people that way. So Manomaya. So he says, study the Vedas, get instructions, organize your mind, your emotion, so that when you grow up, you have a healthy mind with you. Otherwise, outer success doesn't matter much, you see. You're a tortured person inside, unsatisfied, tortured person. As I told you, when you're alone, how you experience yourself. That is what really matters. Not what kind of face you show to the world. When you're alone, how do you? Okay, these are little complicated issues. So let us spend 1 or 2 minutes. The physical body, and physical body is filled with the physiological body, pranamaya. Pranamaya is the seat of hunger and thirst, or digestion. Pranamaya is not your Atma, that is only a tool that we use. And then the Manomaya, the seat of our emotions, our childhood experience. So in modern psychology it says unconscious. And 90% of your antakarana is the Manomaya, the unconscious. Unconscious drives and appetites, fears and anxieties and traumas. The unfulfilled child in you. It is that unfulfilled child which drives you. The more unfulfilled you are, the more ambitious you are, more aspirational you are, the more successful you are, but the more dissatisfied you are. But the good news is, this is not you. This is because you are identifying with it. You are not the Manomaya Kosha. It's only one of the masks that you are wearing. So the only way to deal with the Manomaya Kosha and its defects and its traumas is to distance yourself by bringing the light of awareness. And Manomaya Kosha fills the Pranamaya Kosha, which fills the Annamaya Kosha. So your physiological health depends upon your mental health. Meaning your appetite, your digestion, your general sense of physical well-being depend upon your mind, your emotions. So in the seat of meditation, the child will come up. The child who cries for attention. This is called Sakashayam Vijaniyat. So should give attention in the state of meditation to the crying, weeping child which throw tantrums. If you are lucky enough, you would have got the training in the proper mantras and all these samskara kriyas. So every stage, transitional stage in your life, there is an appropriate intervention so that trauma is reduced to the minimum. So your parents' behavior, your relations' behavior, your environment all influences the development of the child in you. Of course, it also depends upon your genetic structure which you inherit. In Vedanta, the karma, the prarabdha karma you bring in. So prarabdha karma is genetic structure and the environment that where you grow up. Together, nurture and nature together constitute the manomaya kosha. So as you work in the world, take some break and try to reflect upon or look into your unconscious manomaya emotional processes. Generally, an emotional personality needs someone to relate to, because the child, the mother or the father. So that relation should be with the God, Ishvara, the Supreme Mother or Supreme Father. Your biological mother couldn't fulfill that because she had her own constrictions and problems, and so whatever your biological parents couldn't do for you, you connect with the Ishvara or Parashakti or Ganapati or whatever. Slowly the child in you is satisfied, feels secure, feels cared for, listened to. So that's the manomaya kosha, which you will see in great detail. So in the state of meditation, when these manomaya kosha, emotional personality manifest, the meditator should be happy. Just let it manifest. As Gaudapada says, Sakashayam Vijaniya. They are the undigested material in the emotional personality. पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।